In the comments, you often ask me to test something for fracture with a hydraulic press, not just for compression. And today is the day for that. Also, one of my subscribers sent a very interesting package that inspired me to conduct this experiment. These are titanium bolts used in aerospace industry. You won't find such bolts in retail. They're only used in specialized facilities. Let's take a closer look at them. Each bolt head has encrypted markings indicating their strength. They're marked quite differently, unlike steel bolts. All these bolts come in two diameters, with M6 and M8 threads. Upon close examination of any bolt, I see that the quality of their manufacturing is absolutely perfect. No pits, dents, chips, or scratches. I couldn't find a steel bolt with the exact same shape, but I found one that's identical in size, only the cap has a slightly different shape. If we weight them, we'll understand the main feature of titanium bolts. A titanium bolt weighs almost 6 grams, while a steel bolt of the same size weighs 10 grams. That is, the mass differs almost by half. In addition to titanium bolts, for comparison, we will test bolts made of carbon steel. These are the most common bolts that you can buy in a hardware store with the most common strength class, 8 and 8. I also managed to find bolts made of stainless steel for comparison. Judging by the markings, they have a strength class of 70-1, which is approximately equivalent to the strength class of carbon steel bolts. And today, we will attempt to test with a hydraulic press whether a titanium bolt, which is half the weight of a steel bolt of the same size, can withstand at least approximately the same load. Simply pressing bolts with the press is, well, stupid. Bolts, no matter how they are intended for compression, do not work that way. Therefore, today we will test them for shear and fracture. For shear test, I made this gadget. Here's a hole with a diameter of 6 mm and one with a diameter of 8 mm for testing M6 and M8 bolts respectively. Here's how it works. The bolt is inserted into the fixture, secured with a nut, and all of this is placed under the hydraulic press. And we'll press it using a precise load cell to determine the load at which the bolt will fail. So let's start the shear test. First up is the carbon steel M6 bolt. The maximum load for shearing the carbon steel bolt was 1,836 kilograms. Next in line are the stainless steel bolts, M6 also. The maximum load for shearing the stainless steel bolt was 1,600 kilograms, which is 200 kilograms less than the first bolt. What load will the titanium bolt withstand? Since the threaded part of the titanium bolt is short, we'll have to use several nuts. The titanium bolt held up to shearing almost 2 tons. Amazingly, its mass is half that of steel, yet it can withstand a greater load. For comparison, let's also test 2 larger diameter M8 bolts for shearing. One bolt made of ordinary carbon steel and another one is made of titanium. So first up is the bolt made of carbon steel. steel M8 bolt withstood shearing of almost 3 tons. What load will the titanium bolt of the same diameter with M8 thread withstand? The titanium M8 bolt withstood shearing of 3.5 tons, 500 kilograms more than the equivalent steel bolt. And now it's time to test these bolts for tensile strength. For this experiment, I had to make another contraption. The bolt in our tensile testing fixture will be secured like this. We'll only be testing M6 bolts for tensile strength. Our fixture most likely won't hold up an M8. Next, we place all of this under the press with the load cell. The press through the load cell will push on this lever, which in turn will push the secured part of the bolt downwards. The upper part of the fixture is attached to the press frame. And the most important thing, when we press down on the middle part of the lever with the press, the actual load that the bolt will experience, according to the lever rule, since the lever is the lever, will be half of the load shown on the display. So, first up is the bolt made of carbon steel. The carbon steel bolt withstood a tensile load of 2.5 tons. Next up is the stainless steel bolt. Stainless steel held up under tension just over 2 tons, which again falls slightly short of the load the carbon steel bolt withstood. In slow motion, you can see how much the stainless steel bolt stretched before it tore apart. It stretched almost a centimeter. In this case, we can observe what's called the flow stress. Specifically with stainless steel, when the flow stress is reached, further load doesn't decrease significantly. Carbon steel also poses flow stress capacity, but it's not as pronounced as with stainless steel. What load will the titanium bolt withstand under tension? As expected, the titanium bolt withstood the highest load compared to the previous samples. If you examine the process of bolt failure in detail, using the titanium bolt as an example, the load increases up to a certain value and then its failure occurs abruptly. Steel bolts, on the other hand, fail a bit differently. The load increases up to a certain maximum value, then the bolt starts to elongate, the load decreases, and the bolt breaks. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button to receive notifications about upcoming videos.